Thank you for joining this lesson, number 21 on linear motion, relative speed. A matatu left Nairobi at 7 a.m. for Kisumu at an average speed of 75 kilometers per hour. A car also left Nairobi 40 minutes later for Kisumu along the same route at an average speed of 105 kilometers per hour. Determine part 1, the time when the car caught up with the matatu. So because the car is having a higher speed than the matatu, it means eventually they will catch up. Now, from Nairobi to Kisumu, let me just show you. We should know that this is Nairobi. Just to sketch, this is Kisumu. Then now a matatu is leaving at 7 from Nairobi. Then 40 minutes later. This means 40 minutes can be converted to hours. Then we multiply this time with the speed of this matatu to get the distance covered by the matatu before the car began its journey. So 40 by 7.5 over 60. This gives us exactly 50. There is some 50 kilometers covered by the matatu before the car began its journey. So this becomes our relative distance. So the relative distance is 50 km. Now there is relative speed, which is going to be the difference between 105 and 75. This is going to be, is it exactly 30? Yes, kilometers per hour. Now there is a speed of 30 kilometers per hour at which the car is approaching the matatu with. Now we can get the relative time, the time they will take to narrow down the relative distance between them. A distance over speed. So 50. This is going to be 1 2/3 hours. So 1 2/3 hours, which is equivalent to 1 hour and 40 minutes. That means now we can get the time of catching up, and the time when they caught up is going to be from 7, there is 40 minutes later, so that they may start traveling together. Then now we are taking again 1 hour, 40 minutes. 40 minutes plus 40 minutes becomes 80. That means we have 20 minutes and a whole hour. That means 7 plus 1 becomes 9. So 9:20 a.m. the same day. 9:20 a.m. the same day is when they are going to catch up. Now we can continue and say, we are also supposed to determine the distance from Nairobi when the car caught up with the matatu. So from Nairobi, there is a 50 kilometer that had been narrowed, and now they are traveling again for a further 1 2/3 hours. And we have the car traveling, we can use the speed of the car for 1 2/3 hours. When the car is traveling at a speed of 105, we're going to have 175 kilometers. 175 kilometers. This is from Nairobi. This is when we consider the car. When we consider the other vehicle, which is at a speed of 75, we're going to get 125 kilometers. But we should remember that this matatu, which is covering 125 to be caught, it had already covered a 50 kilometer. So the distance will eventually be 175, just like when we use the car. So from Nairobi, we will have a distance of 175. This is an alternative working, not a continuation. We can continue and answer a part B here, which says a truck left Kisumu for Nairobi 7:15 a.m. at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. If the truck met with the matatu at the same time as the car, find the time when the truck arrived in Nairobi. Find the time when the truck arrived in Nairobi. Therefore, we should know that the truck is from Kisumu, and the point, which is 175 kilometers, where it will catch up with the matatu is where the car is also overtaking the matatu. So the three vehicles will arrive here at the same time. Two are coming from Nairobi, that is a car and a matatu. But now we have a truck from Kisumu, which will also arrive at their overtaking point the same time. Now we can get back to the question again and see what we are being told. That a truck left Kisumu for Nairobi at 7:15 at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Then the truck met with the matatu at the same time as the car. Find the time when the truck arrived in Nairobi. So what we should calculate here is the time the truck will travel more beyond what it has traveled. For how long will it be in a journey? And there is now the 175 to arrive at Nairobi. Because the two have covered 175 kilometers from Nairobi, and now they are meeting a truck here, which is from Kisumu. Then the truck has this 175 to be covered. So a distance of 175 at a speed of 60 will be covered. 175 divided by 60. So this distance is going to be covered in 2 hours at 11 over 12. 2 hours and 11 over 12. And remember the time when they are meeting is the time of catching up, and that is 9:20 a.m. So from 9:20 a.m. we are going to add 2 hours, and we convert the 11 out of 12 to hours, to minutes, sorry, by multiplying by 60. That is going to be 55 minutes. 2 hours, 55 minutes we are going to add, because that is the time the truck is having to continue traveling. So we're going to have 75 minutes. That means we have an hour and 15 minutes. So we carry the hour, that will be 10, 12. 12, 15. So we are going to have 12, 15 p.m. or we can call it 12:15 hours in the 24-hour clock system, the same day. That is when the truck arrived in Nairobi. Thank you for following. Subscribe to this channel and share.